Hi, this is Colette Campbell, Fedorist at Campbell Drug. This is part 2 series of our 3-part series on how to fit your shoes. When you shop, make sure that you try on several styles and shapes of shoes. If you remember what we mentioned last time, your foot is a specific shape. If the shape of the shoe does not match the shape of your foot, then you're going to have pressure on the outside of your foot or on the inside of the foot. The easiest way to recognize that is if you have calluses. Believe it or not, calluses are 100% related to pressure that your foot receives. If you ran around barefoot all the time, past maybe calluses from walking on concrete, which is still a pressure, you would not have pressure. So if you have corns on your little toes, if you have calluses on your toes, on either side of your foot, your shoe shape is not matching your foot shape. So always try on varying sizes and varying shapes of shoes to figure out what is the most comfortable for you. Because even in an athletic shoe, the shape is very different. So don't just go pull one off the shelf and think you're going to start running around Boomer Lake. Another thing that's very important is everybody is always concerned about the length of their shoes, but width of your shoes is as important, if not more important, than the length. Most people are really good at making sure their shoes are approximately 3/8 or to a half an inch longer than their toe. But width, if you are squeezing the size of your foot in, you're creating those corns, you're creating those calluses, and sometimes those corns and calluses pop up in strange places, like between your toes, in the middle of the ball of your foot, several places like that. So it's okay to wear a wide or extra wide shoe. When you go in widths, the width is so small that nobody else can see that. You may wear an extra wide, but that doesn't mean everybody's going to look at you and think that you have a giant foot. And also perception of that is different when you're looking at somebody versus looking down at your own foot. That aspect is hugely important for children. Children's feet grow width too. They don't just continue to grow length. So you always want to, everybody's always making sure they've got this thumb width for their kids' shoes and stuff, but you need to have that extra width too. Because in some cycles of kids' growth, they may actually get some structure stuff where that width grows faster than that length. So if you are squeezing your child's foot, you can be changing their foot forever. Their foot is cartilage till it's 13, so you can kind of dictate sometimes or around 13, you can sometimes dictate what that foot's going to do for the rest of their life by having a shoe that's too narrow. If you have any questions, be sure to go someplace where they measure your child's foot and tell you the width. And again, going back to part 1, draw a picture of your kid's foot, lay that picture down in the shoe, and see if it fits, or pull the insert out and compare it. But you want that width in there also. As important as the width is, you want to look at basically the ball of your foot. The ball of your foot is typically the widest part of your foot. You want to make sure that the ball of your foot fits the ball of the shoe. So there's a place in the shoe that's the widest part. Typically it's where it bends at the toe, but you need to make sure that's where your shoe's fitting. If you are trying to get a longer size to accommodate width, if that makes sense, then lots of times people move up a size because they say the shoes aren't wide enough. Where if they truly just went wider, they could get shorter and that foot fits in the right parts. The arch needs to be in the arch, the ball of the foot needs to be in the ball of the foot. Next time we'll finish up our series and then you should be on to the best fitting shoe you can have.